Hi everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Adrian. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. On this channel, we talk about everything from health to self-development. So today, I wanted to talk about something a little bit more serious. And what I wanted to discuss was our fear of failure, our fear of the unknown, our fear of not knowing if we're not going to be able to do it. Because I feel like fear is literally a driving force in every single thing that we do. Every decision, every opportunity, a possible promotion that we might end up, getting at work, but we're too scared to ask our boss about, maybe even a raise, or even sticking to a diet or even a workout routine because we're too afraid and we feel like we're just not going to do it because, oh, I feel like I'm a fail, so I'm not even going to do it. I'm scared of the unknown. I'm scared that I'm just not good enough. And I want everybody to know that although fear is there and it is something that will continuously be there for the rest of our lives, we can't allow it to dictate our lives and our decisions and, pretty much anything that we want to do that may seem fun to us, but we're too fearful, of the outcome. And I'm gonna be honest, although I'm doing the video and I'm all talking about it, I have fears of failure too. I have, fears that I won't become successful. I won't, find like my true happiness in life. I won't, I'm just scared that I won't become the best version of myself. I do have fears of that sometimes. And I feel like that is something that is kind of universal. A lot of us just feel like we're just sometimes not good enough, and that the things that we truly want in life we may not be able to get because we just can't do it. When it comes to fear, a little bit of fear I feel like is at least a little bit healthy. You don't want to be naive and just say that, oh well, let's not fear anything, let's just go ahead and yeah, I feel like it's good to at least be a little bit skeptical on certain things, but what's bad is that when you start letting fear dictate every single thing that you do. So when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to things that can really benefit you, and the moment that you start saying that, that you just repeatedly start saying no to certain things or almost everything that might seem outgoing to you, everything that might seem overwhelming to you, like maybe going to a shopping mall because you may have, social anxiety. That fear is keeping you back and it is not allowing you to grow. I don't want to be in my, later years, and I don't want to say what if. I don't want to say, what if this, I have regrets about that. I recently went on a trip actually, and I had a opportunity to go ocean diving. It was a really rare opportunity, but I actually had that opportunity to do it and I didn't do it. I was gonna swim with the turtles, see the fishes underwater. I was gonna be all around the aquatic life, but I didn't do it because I was too scared. I was scared that, of I don't know. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Because I guess now in retrospect, I was thinking to myself that I was gonna end up just chickening out. You know what I mean? Because it's like so different, it's so new. I'm not on flat land anymore. I'm actually in the water. Like I'm so vulnerable. And I guess that's what I was afraid of. Was the vulnerability, was the sense of the unknown. And I regret that. I regret it. I know that later in life, I will, end up doing it. I will end up going under the ocean and I will, hopefully have a really good time because, everybody wants to have a good time when they're trying something new. But that right there, yeah, I'll be honest, I regret that I didn't do that. But again, we can't allow our lives to be dictated by fear. Because if we allow it to be dictated by fear, I mean, honestly, we're never going to do anything fun. I'll go ahead and say a quick story. And I haven't thought about this in a really long time, but yeah, I'll just say it right now. When I was in high school, it was my junior year, and I didn't go for any sports. I went for some sports, but the reason why I got out of other sports was because, I had this, this fear, yeah, again, there you go. I had the fear that I wouldn't be able to do it. So all of a sudden, cross-country tryouts ended up happening. And I remember that all of my friends were going into it, but I didn't go into it until weeks later after they kept mentioning it and telling me because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to, be as fast, as a lot of the people. Sometimes when they were out there on the track just training, I would watch and I would see like the top performers, the people that were in varsity. And man, they were fast. They were really fast and they were able to go at running for like a really long time. And I got scared because I was like, am I really going to be able to do that? So I just ended up thinking to myself that, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. But then there was a moment where I remember that I was coming out of the locker rooms, PE back then, and I ended up bumping into the actual cross country coach. And everybody, like how I had friends on the team, they had mentioned me, and the cross country coach was just like, oh, I've heard about you, why don't you go ahead and join, and I was like, I was hesitant. I was hesitant when he started, asking me about joining. He ended up handing me a piece of paper and just pretty much telling me like I should come, and I should, try out and, at least see if I got what it takes to be inside of the cross country team. And I remember that the first day that I ended up going, I try to keep up with the big boys. I try to run, with the people who were already in varsity. These guys had already been running, like in this sport for like 5 years. And I was trying to keep up with them. I was pushing myself so hard because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And I ended up throwing up really bad on my first day of tryouts. Now my whole team ended up seeing me. The whole cross country team saw me. And I was just there puking my guts out. And and I honestly thought to myself, I'm not gonna come back. Like that was just too embarrassing. And honestly, I'm just not gonna be able to keep up. But you know what? In truth, I ended up going back. And when I did go back, the coach ended up patting me on the back and he was just like, oh, you good? Yeah, you good? Okay, well, go ahead and run out there and show me what you got, and don't push yourself that hard. Just, show me what you got. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay. And now that I think back on that, on not giving up, and not being afraid of possible failure, of me not being able to do it, I ended up making varsity, actually. I made varsity within 2 months of being there. And I'm glad that I went. I'm really glad that I went. And I think that I would have regretted not getting into the team if I didn't push myself enough to just, let's go ahead. I know that we had a first, bad day. Everyone, saw you vomit. But let's go ahead and head back and let's show them what we can really do with consistency. And yeah, I got into varsity. And I think I would have regretted it again if I didn't go. So the bottom line of this video is that I want to go ahead and just convey the message that don't let your fear of failure control you. Don't let it just be a major factor that plays into your life and just decides everything for you. Because if it is like that, like I said earlier in the video, you're going to wake up years later and just think to yourself, wow, I had no control of my life because I was so afraid of doing new things. I was afraid of, failing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's okay to fail. You know what I mean? I feel like it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail only, this is the one time that I'm gonna like really say that it's okay to fail, is if you try. If you actually put in the effort, if you actually went, all in, and you actually like, took the time and trained and, gave all your passion and you failed, I feel like you did a really great job, even though you failed. And I feel like the next time that you end up going back into it, you're going to end up doing even better. Because now, from your failure, you learned something. And now you have more experience. And it's just going to benefit you in the future. There's actually a saying by Steve Jobs that your time is limited. So don't waste your life living somebody else's life. Which, in this case, don't live fear's life. Don't do that. Because you're just going to end up being unhappy as life goes on. I would be unhappy if I just kept getting scared at every single opportunity that hit me. I don't think that Steve Jobs would have created Apple if he cracked under the fear of failure. I don't think Bill Gates would have, produced Microsoft out of, out of the fear of failure. I don't think that they would have been able to do it if they just, listened to themselves, with that fear department and just said, okay, fine, I'm gonna go ahead and just bow down, and say that, yeah, I'm gonna let fear conquer me. No, don't let fear conquer you. Conquer fear. Like I said, it's okay to be skeptical, but just make sure that you're not just chickening out, pretty much, for lack of better words, that you're just not, that you're just too afraid and you feel like you're just not gonna do it. Don't do it just because of that. Actually do it because you feel like, oh, okay, well, if I want to grow, I actually have to do new things. I actually have to expand my horizons. I actually have to go out there, do things that I am not comfortable with. Take me out of this comfort zone and actually take me somewhere where I'm going to end up in 3 months thanking myself for going there. So that's my message for this video. That's all she wrote. So yeah, this was actually a really fun video to make. So if you guys liked it, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.